Subscribe if you're a solo player and you like it that way.
Ace Friendly with another Guides in Minutes, a series providing straight to the point step-by-step walkthroughs. If you're new to raiding or still stumped on an encounter, take a look at the rest of my step-by-step guides on my channel.
Today's guide is the Grasp of Avarice Dungeon. Every encounter will involve the following, meaning getting engrams and depositing at a crystal, killing vandals to get a scorch cannon, using the scorch cannon on this object, which I'll call a power box. So if you ever forget what you're doing, remember, go get engrams and deposit at a crystal, kill vandal and get scorch cannon, use cannon on power box. One last thing, here's some footage to really drive this point home. Depending on the encounter, you either kill ads to drop these engrams or you'll acquire them a different way. In any case, pick them up and go to one of these crystals. To deposit, just stand kinda close to it. As shown, you should see your engram counter decrease slowly. Try to be quick though, because hoarding engrams is also a wipe timer. As you deposit more engrams, the crystal will grow in size until it's fully grown. You will do this in all encounters. Here's some footage showing the crystals growing to their full size. You will know that you have completed a crystal, therefore deposited enough engrams when you receive a message. This happens for all encounters. Picking up a total of 10 engrams grants you full super energy. If your timer is starting to go down and your screen goes red, simply grab another engram to reset your timer. Or you can rush over to a crystal to stop the timer from counting down. You can see that the timer is not going down. You'll come across these vandals in every encounter. Killing them will drop a scorch cannon. Each encounter will constantly spawn vandals infinitely, so you'll have an infinite supply of scorch cannons. The scorch cannons are used to activate these power boxes. You can easily find these by looking for this orange Home Depot power cable. Activating these power boxes activates something in the dungeon, like opening a door. You'll almost always use a fully charged shot, except for this launch pad encounter, which I'll explain later. As a refresher, push the shoot button and hold to allow it to charge. Let it power up twice to get a full charge shot. I know, I'm sorry it's taking so long. We're almost there. You also need to check which power box is active. The one on the right is active, the one on the left is not. Alright, loading in. Massacre everything in sight, pick up all the engrams that you can. Drop them off at the crystal inside the cave. Repeat until you grow it to its full size. I'll let you experience this mini puzzle section because it's pretty fun for a first time. There are traps, there are switches to activate. Take your time, explore, and I'll meet you at the very first legitimate encounter. First encounter is the Ogre boss. Remembering the main mechanics in this dungeon, in other words, get engram, deposit them, get scorch cannon, shoot power box with it. First, you'll clearly see your deposit crystal. You'll also see doors on the left and right side indicating a left and right side room. You also clearly see a power box on the left and on the right side. And already, we have a good idea of what to do. Bring anything hard hitting. He's not a hard boss, so here are some ideas. Really, you can just stick together. We're mainly just gathering engrams. Let's go step by step. So you'll spawn in together. Eventually, a vandal with a cannon will spawn and it'll constantly spawn. Kill him to get the scorch cannon. Find the active power box. Let's assume it's this one. Shoot this active power box with a fully charged scorch cannon shot, and then enter the newly opened room. Kill all ads, pick up all engrams, and then return to the crystal to deposit. Now, the other power box will be active. So use your cannon to activate it, get your engrams, and repeat. The active power box will flip-flop back and forth. Repeat until you deposit 25 engrams. Here's some footage showing the vandal with the scorch cannon. Kill him and grab the scorch cannon. Check which power box is active. No, it's not that one. Oh, it's going to be this one. Shoot and hold for a fully charged shot. Release it. It'll open the door. Annihilate everything in this room. Pick up the engrams and deposit back at the crystal. If you need a spare cannon, this guy will constantly spawn. Continue to look for the next active power box. Activate it with a fully charged shot. Kill all ads inside. Pick up all the engrams and deposit back at the crystal. Repeat if you need more engrams. With enough engrams deposited, the crystal will grow in full size. You get a message. The message means you can damage him. I highly recommend waiting to see that message before wasting supers and ammo. Do not go off with the crystal. If you don't one-phase him, just repeat the engram gathering process. The most common mistake in this entire dungeon is trying to damage the boss when the boss is still immune. Remember, this message means that you have completed the crystal, deposited enough engrams, and that the game is ready for you to do damage. In any case, I'm confident you guys will be fine. Ogre dead, and time for loot. Next up is a mini Sparrow Racing encounter. You can follow this route here, but take a moment to enjoy it. I'll meet you at the next encounter. I must say, this always on time Sparrow makes this encounter very easy. Pretty fun, right? Good, because this next encounter can be very tedious. And yes, we will be launching 4 dead servitors into the sky. You'll end up in a huge area with a bunch of small islands and little pirate stations. But our main objective is this giant orange balloon, and our job is to destroy 4 of these pimples. And we do this by literally aiming dead servitors and then launching them at the orange balloon. No need to really split up here either, because only one available servitor spawns at a time. Spawning in one at a time, the servitors can spawn on any of these islands or platforms. You can usually make out where the servitor is because it'll be roaming around and you can see its shield. And once you found the servitor, make your way over. Make your way over by launching yourself with these platforms. Launch yourself by shooting the nearby power boxes on each island station. You can simply shoot and hold while you make your way over to the launch pad. Notice how you can also rotate these launch pads. This is important when you're aiming it to launch the servitors. Every station also has a Vandal, which will donate a Scorch Cannon to you. And there's also a crystal on each island station. You probably have an idea of what to do already, but let's go step by step. So, you have found the Servitor, and you're making your way over by launching yourself over there. But the Servitor is shielded and he's immune to damage. Oh no, what do? Well, we kill ads, pick up the engrams, and deposit at the nearest crystal. Remember, each island has its own crystal. Depositing enough will grant you a message, meaning something has now happened. In this case, the Servitor is damageable, and he's already fried. Next, scoot and push him to the launch pad. Take your time to not let it roll off the ledge. Make sure the launch pad is aimed at one of the pimples on the orange balloon. Shoot the nearby power box, and it'll launch over. You do not need a fully charged shot for this. Please take your time here. If you rush, you can end up rolling the Servitor off the edge, just like we're doing right here. If this does happen, don't worry, another Servitor will appear somewhere else in this entire area. Simply look for the next available Servitor if this happens. Make sure to aim the launch pad before you launch the Servitor. This really helps to save time. Launch 4 total Servitors and you'll be done. This is my least favorite encounter because it's very tedious. Anyways, meet in the very center island and launch your way up. Final encounter. Nothing's changed. It's the same mechanics as before. Take your pick here. These are really just suggestions. At the very least, I recommend it well. The boss room has a main center stage surrounded by platforms on the left, a small dirt island in the middle, and a right side platforms. Notice the power boxes, one on the left, one in the center, and one on the very right side right here. Vandals with Scorch Cannons will spawn around and jump around the platforms. You can find them here, here, or here. Only 2 of the 3 power boxes will be active, so you have to run around and look for which ones are active. For this encounter, engrams drop from the ceiling, as shown here. You drop them by activating a power box with a fully charged shot. So here, I'm waiting for my teammate to activate the power box, and here come the engrams. Each side of the room drops engrams. Even this dirt island will have engrams dropped on it. Of course, you have the main deposit crystal in the middle. I recommend splitting up the team, 1 person on each side. Before we go step by step, I do recommend the following. As the encounter begins, charge this little basement area. We're doing this because we want to gang up on these 2 enemies right as they come out of that little basement area. They're not lethal, they're just super tanky and annoying to keep around. So I recommend your team charge this area, pop well, wither hordes, grenades, wait for them to come out, and then pop all your supers to kill them as soon as possible. With these guys out of the way, let's go step by step. Here are your power boxes here, here, and here. 1 person covering each side of the room. Scorch Cannon and Vandal will spawn somewhere. Kill them. Someone pick up the Scorch Cannon. That person should find an active power box. Use a fully charged shot on it. Engrams will drop on all sides. Everyone should pick up all your engrams on your own side or help each other out. Each power box activation will drop 10 engrams on each side. Now don't deposit yet. I recommend activating 1 more power box and getting another set of engrams per person. Each person should now have 20 engrams for a total of 60 in your team. So return to the middle crystal and deposit. Getting to DPS requires 60 engrams deposited. Personally, I like sticking around and gathering as many engrams as I can, versus gathering some, going to the crystal, deposit, and coming back out to gather more. I mean, as long as you have 60 total, you're good. Once you have 60 engrams, meet in the middle, deposit at the crystal, and get ready to do DPS from this middle crystal. So literally, at this middle crystal, pop your well as shown here. Remember, wait for the message. Don't waste your heavy or your supers yet. Then you can go ahead and wail on him. He can be 1 phase with setup, but usually 1 to 2 phases easily. Repeat as necessary. So remember, kill the 2 tanky assholes right at the beginning. Reminder, it's these 2 guys. Activate the power boxes and get your engrams. Once you have 60, meet in the middle, deposit at the middle crystal. Get ready to do DPS. Remember, wait for the message, and you're done. Some things to watch out for. Engrams falling into the water. You can carefully pick them up, but just know that if you fall into the water, you will die. Another point is damaging the boss before the boss is even ready. Just wait for the message. The game needs to check that the crystal is ready and that the boss is ready, so just keep an eye on your HUD so that you don't waste supers or ammo. And that's it. A fun but tedious at times dungeon. If this helped clarify something small or you found it helpful in any way, give it a thumbs up, comment below how it did, and subscribe for more future guides. I check and read the feedback and comments to tailor these guides as best as I can. Again, thank you all if you stuck around to the end, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!